Now, to get back to Randy Orton, I was talking before about how he was kind of getting off in the production truck, watching footage of him torturing Jeff Hardy. And who is his next victim going to be? He's moved on now from Jeff Hardy. He's ready to strike his next victim. I say that Miz wins at Super Showdown over Daniel Bryan. And I think it may be Randy Orton who provides the assist that helps him win. Orton is going after people the fans like. Who is one of the most popular baby faces on the Smackdown brand right now, AJ Styles aside? Who would number 2 be? I think it would be Daniel Bryan. So it would make sense for Orton to go after him because he is somebody the fans love and he should in turn want to torture this poor guy. Now the other way they could go with this is they could have Miz win in Australia, get away from Miz and Bryan until WrestleMania, and have Bryan work with Shinsuke Nakamura. If they don't want him working with Orton, he could work with Shinsuke. That's still a match. I know Bryan wants it. I know Nakamura wants it. Other than like a random dark match after a TV taping a few months ago, these two guys have never had a formal match, at least not in WWE. They haven't worked a program together. That's still a fresh match they could go to, and at least it would finally be something for Nakamura to do. He's been doing a whole lot of nothing. So let's say they do that. Let's say they have Bryan lose in Australia, and he transitions into a program with Nakamura for the U.S. title. And maybe you have Randy Orton go after the number 1 babyface on this show, who is AJ Styles. Styles versus Orton. There's another example of a program that still has not been done. They've had a couple of TV matches, but not an actual feud. Psycho heel Orton against AJ could be really good. The only thing about that is I cannot bring myself to want to see Randy Orton with the WWE title again. I kind of like what Orton's been doing. He's doing his own thing. It's as opposed to Charlotte. Here's an example of somebody who's perfectly cast in exactly the role he should be in, and exactly the role that he's most comfortable in. But him with the WWE Championship again, I don't think I'm ready for that yet. Not after that whole Bray Wyatt thing, and then him and Jinder Mahal, and yeah, I don't know if I'm ready for that yet. But I'll spit out a third option for you. I'm just running through these different things and these different ideas in my head here of how they could go with this. Bryan wins in Australia, and then I'll tell you what I think is going to happen. Bryan wins, let's say, in Australia, and they promote the match for Smackdown 1000. I think some people are forgetting that there's a big Smackdown show coming up next month that they're probably going to want to have a big main event for. And that's Smackdown 1000 on October 16th, which is 2 weeks, right? I think it's 2 weeks or 2.5 weeks after the Australia pay-per-view. If they really want to load that show up and have a big main event, Daniel Bryan challenging AJ Styles for the WWE Championship, babyface against babyface, would be a big one. And then you can have that match end with Randy Orton costing Bryan the match there, as opposed to him costing him, the match against Miz. And that then leads to Bryan feuding with Orton. I could see them doing that too. So in my head, I'm mulling all of these options over. What are they more likely to do? I still say I'm still leaning towards a Miz win in Australia. Orton goes after Bryan as his next victim. Samoa Joe loses again in Australia, but probably gets one more match against AJ for the title, and they do that match at SmackDown 1000. Because if Joe is going to win the championship, I actually think it's more likely to happen on SmackDown 1000 to have like a big memorable moment than it is at Super Showdown.